Wisconsin. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Seattle Seahawks and the Green Bay Packers. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
That's fine. Yeah. Single. Watch it. No. Green 18.
Strong left.
Jumbo.
Strong left.
Rodgers now on first down. Oh, he's going to take it. It got his man complete. Past the 20. Touchdown, Packers. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, his first touchdown on the year. And the Packers have taken the early lead. Well, that's how they envisioned it with the football to start the game and score it.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible? Or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
Curl.
Ohio.
Now Hundley. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. They'll get 4 there out of the screen, and it's second down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
They'll go option to the short side. And this will be taken across midfield and into Green Bay territory. He'll get 8 on the keeper there. It'll be second and a couple.
Oh, man, that wasn't far from breaking in a big way into the secondary. Read option, quarterback kept it. And while he didn't get a first down, he did get a nice chunk of yardage. Only a nice tackle prevented it from maybe going all the way.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs. Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. Throwing Hundley. And Anderson's got it. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tougher, guys trying to get to the football.
Come on, let's go. White 90.
Now the first carry for Ty Montgomery. And he'll be taken down just shy of the red zone at the 21. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Next, the receivers helped spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slashing run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
On the crossing route, complete. It's Baldwin. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. That one good for 7 as this long drive continues and the chains move again. An inaugural trip to the red zone here for the Seahawks. It's 1st and 10 at the 14.
Red 38.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit but they'll say it's incomplete. The intended target, Doug Baldwin. That'll bring up second down.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the Tucker rule that they can fall back on anymore.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Here we go.
Back to throw here. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal.
Four down, four down.
Let's go. Red 38. Red 38.
They'll run for it in Montgomery. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. So stuff from the 2, now what?
You know me pretty well. What do you think I want here?
Play action?
Definitely. Let him get outside and create. And if he has to run it, he has a little bit more space.
They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that is going to set up 3rd and goal.
Let's go. Red 38. Red 38.
Check, check.
Ohio. Ohio.
Now back to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Tyler Lockett, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Seahawks just an extra point away from tying this thing up. The extra point up and good. And we are tied at 7. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. I mean, that's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the card.
And that's caught inside the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A gain of 39 that time.
Tell the truth, partner. You didn't think he was coming down with that one, did you? Come on, tell me the truth.
No, I didn't. I'll tell you what, though. A one-handed grab of that length. Talk about giving your team a little juice.
Oh, big time. I mean, everyone's going to be excited about that one, whether you're on the field or not. It permeates its way through the entire team, and I can't wait to see what they do on the next down.
The rush defense stout on first down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. On 2nd down, here's Rodgers. And an alley to run. And he slides to avoid the hit. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Throwing now is Rodgers. Flushed out right. He can run. Now look out. Rodgers lost the football. And the Seahawks have recovered. In their locker room, they've got a sign that says defense wins championships. And, Charles, they pointed to that this week, said that has to be us. Looking good early.
I like how you saw that because of the bold letters, right? You saw the emphasis that they place on that and what they believe in. And for them, it's every single snap. So it's not just a matter of getting to the quarterback and knocking the ball free. They're trying to read when that ball's going to come free. As soon as those hands separate to throw the ball, they want to be there and have a chance to knock it out.
Mike Daniels makes the tackle. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
Flush to his right. It's caught. Lockett. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. He had the touchdown on the opening drive. Now he's got a 1st down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Here we go. Red 38. Red
first down. Here's the run with Montgomery. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Let's go. White 90. White 90.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Steps, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Nick Perry in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
Ohio. Ohio.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Blake Martinez, the linebacker, was there in coverage to disrupt.
Well, we've seen him catch a few passes out of the backfield in the first half, unable to connect on that one.
Certainly seems like getting him the ball in a passing game, though, is part of their game plan.
It certainly is, because he catches it well, creates a mismatch. You're going to cover him with a linebacker, a corner, a safety. He feel like he can win every battle.
Excellent work on the run back there, 33 yards. And the Packers will have a short field to work with here as they take over 1st and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
Hey, 4 down, 4 down.
Green 18.
Rodgers now on 1st down. Dancing to his left.
Silver.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
We got 4.
Green 18.
53's the mic.
Rodgers will try again on 2nd down. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. Rodgers finding Adams for a Packer first. And on the ground they go with the running back. And he'll get about 3 as he's brought down to the 28.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Trips over here. That's overload.
Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. First target, first catch, and a 1st down. A first red zone opportunity now for the Packers. They're looking at a 1st and goal from about the 9. Now it's Rodgers. And that'll be incomplete. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it, when you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
Touchdown, Packers! As his guys are in for 6, and the Packers are able to cash in for 6. So that's the rookie's first trip to the end zone, and I think it's safe to say one he'll always remember.
Oh, without a doubt, that one is going to be imprinted forever. And nowadays, we're seeing rookies make a greater impact at that position at receiver than ever before. I think mainly because of the sheer volume of footballs that they catch in college.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. He'll leave it for Montgomery complete. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his legs.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
They'll drop to throw. Buying time to his left. And Cook has it, left side. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. And a nice gain at 21 yards. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Come on, let's go. Red 38. Red 38.
Big stop, D.
Ohio. Ohio. Ha-ha. Ha-ha.
They'll look to throw now on first down. That's complete over the middle to Anderson. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Here we go. What? 90. What? 90. Flex round. Flex round. Flex round. Flex round.
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. That's caught right side by Anderson. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Let's go. Red 38. Red 38. Flex round. Flex round.
They'll run with Montgomery. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up second and goal. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line, second and goal.
Let's go. Red 38.
They go option right on second and goal. And maybe the wrong read there as he's going to go down immediately. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know, defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the play for a loss. So out now is the Seattle field goal team. This an easy one, 23-yarder. And his kick is good. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Lambeau following these words. The lead cut to just 4 as they kick it away and turn things over to their D. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
319.
To throw is Rodgers. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Line of scrimmage. Again, the 25. 2nd and 10.
Tight ends on the Ringo. Tight ends on the Ringo.
319.
Rodgers again here on 2nd and 10. And that's complete to Adams. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. So the contact came before the ball got there, and the flag is thrown.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And it's so hard to cover these great receivers. They have such great body control, and they can fake you out. In this case, as you described, got there before the ball got to the receiver. Penalty flag had to come out.
Throwing on first down is Rodgers. And he finds his tight end, Graham. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Escaping the pressure right. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. What can't Aaron Rodgers do? The legwork there getting him to first.
I think we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
Throwing is Rodgers. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
He's tight right here. He's tight on the right. Tight on the right.
319.
Forward now. Even.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. Drops it to Jones in the flat. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Into the red zone, it's Rodgers. Got a man open, it's Adams. Touchdown, Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers, 3 first-half touchdown passes. And the Packers add 6 to their lead. And it's no good. Oh, he misses the extra point, and our score stays right where it is. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And oh, can you believe it? He misses another one, his 3rd so far. Crosby on now to kick it away. This will be taken short. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The fullback comes through with a big play there. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But I believe a Seahawk was able to get a handle on this, so this will remain Seattle ball. And now the Packers going to take another timeout as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23.
Here we go. White 90.
Throwing, Hundley. Being chased out left. Looking for Baldwin, intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And a potential turning point as they'll get the football in very good field position late in this first half. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Strong right. Strong right. Strong right.
So after the INT, it's Rodgers. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. So 2nd and inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker.
319! 319!
Now Rodgers. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Adams. That one goes for 24 yards. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Shotgun now for Rodgers. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. So we're at halftime here at Lambeau with the Packers taking the lead to the break. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. Meanwhile, in Los Angeles, an update from there. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. And we'll keep you abreast of how that one shakes out.
Come on, let's go!
They go play action here on 1st down, eluding the pressure right. He hits Baldwin right side. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a 1st down.
It's complete to Lockett. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? He's going to dump that off to his running back, Montgomery. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
Here comes the boom. I see you, boy. I see you. Tight end to the right, boy. Tight end to the right.
Ohio! Ohio! Let's go! What? 90! What? 90!
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Forced out to his left. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not.
Enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Here we go! Red 38!
Now Hundley. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Mike Daniels. He's the one to get him this time, and back-to-back sacks are going to bring up a 4th down. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. So here are the Packers now. They get set for their first possession of half number 2. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. It's the linebacker, Michael Kendricks, and they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Here we go! Red 38! Red 38!
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Flushed out right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me, long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
He'll look to throw. And the tight end digs in left side. And he showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete. Green Bay up to the task there in coverage and forcing a fourth down. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. From the left hash, this will be a 52-yard attempt. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And it's complete. They're going to get the first. And they're able to pick up the first and keep possession. Facing a fourth down, they come away with 18 yards and the first down conversion. Hundley now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10.
4 down.
Here we go. Red 30.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
He'd had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end.
Hey.
Here we go.
And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside.
Hey, tight end's right. Watch tight end.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Detroit.
Now the backup, A.J. McCarron. Flush to his right. There's Baldwin. Touchdown, Seattle. Doug Baldwin, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Seahawks have made this a 1-score game. A try here for the extra point. Extra point safely through. And that will shave one more off this lead. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. And last time, 1-play interceptions, so this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling, because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Watch right.
Look at you.
Rodgers will try again on 2nd down. Looking deep for, he's got a man, complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A gain of 39 that time.
Well, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Rodgers now on 1st down. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. He got 29 yards that time. When we see another great performance like this out of Aaron Rodgers, you have to chuckle thinking that his only FBS offer was a walk-on at Illinois.
And now he's the product of Butte Junior College, of course at Cal. And I remember watching him play at Cal, and he would run 7-on-7 drills. Angry if the ball ever hit the ground, and it didn't do it very often.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now.
Blue 58.
Here's Rodgers to throw. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about.
Keep playing hard, fellas, all day. Woo! Let's get it.
Now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
319.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And the second effort gets him in. Touchdown, Packers. A great play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Packers add on to their lead.
Touchdown!
Now the extra point. Extra point hugged the upright a bit, but he gets it to go. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Crosby on now to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
White 90. White 90.
They start the drive with Cook. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Tight end right, tight end right.
Come on, let's go. White 90. White 90.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Back to throw. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Mike Daniels in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Now here's Michael Dixon as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Now the Packers get set to go. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that, they had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Back now at Lambeau. It's Packer football here as they've got the lead as well to begin the fourth quarter. Now the man from Utah, this is Aaron Jones. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Grady Jarrett with the tackle.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And the broken tackle helps lead to a first down gain.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on third down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, third down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one.
319!
On first and 10, here's Rodgers. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. The 20. Touchdown, Packers. A big play there. His second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Packers add 6 to their lead.
You having fun with this one, partner?
I am. I mean, he's been fun to watch under center.
We always talk about, getting to the next level, right? When we see people get into the zone, this guy's in the master class right now. What a performance he's putting on, just carving them up.
4 touchdown passes. Carving him up is right. Seems like everything he throws is going to be a completion and going in the end zone. Crosby on now to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. And Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
To Montgomery to begin the drive. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Come on, let's go! White 90! White 90!
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And Dixon over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, a 22.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. Back to throw here. It's caught. Baldwin. And he'll get it down here to the 43. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Come on, let's go! White 90! White 90!
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Nick Perry. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
Here they come, here they come, here they come. Hot, 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 hot.
The Seahawks on third down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This will be 3rd and 15.
Here we go! White 90! White 90! Ohio! Ohio! Hot!
They'll drop the throw. Steps away to his left. And he coughed it up, and the Packers pick it up. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely.
58, right over there. Right.
They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. The tackle will be credited to Jake Ryan. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all three still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Now, a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. Despite the lead here in the fourth, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all. And to me, it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays. Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead? Or do you try and extend it because you always feel like the other team can come back?
Extend it. Have some fun. Now Rodgers on the bootleg. Now look out. Rodgers lost the football.
And a little bit of good fortune there. He wasn't able to get it back, but he did have a teammate on the spot able to retain possession for them.
On now is the Packers punter. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the fourth quarter. Now it's Lockett. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And it'll be Seahawk football as they take over deep in their own territory. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Come on, let's go.
Good word. I like it, though, because you're exactly
You
right.
like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last.
And he's going to go down. He backed up into the end zone, and this is going to wind up a safety. So a failure there to get rid of the football. I don't know in the end that it's going to matter much here with this game, but it yields another 2 points.
Yeah, I think I'm with you. It may not matter a ton with the deficit that's already there, but like my old coach used to say, it sure ain't going to help.
That doesn't help indeed. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. Now, the previous drive they punted, but that was just the first time they've had to do so in this game.
And when they turn on the game film, the coaches will rant about this, right? They'll say, oh, God, we got to move the ball, guys. We can't punt the ball away. But they have to keep smiles off their faces because that's the first time in the game they've had to do so. They've moved it quite well. They'll overall be happy with what they've seen.
Hey, 58 is a mic. Go 58.
Throwing on first down is Rodgers. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done.
Well, it may seem a little unorthodox to some people. Got the lead, fourth quarter, yet he's still firing away. I think he believes that's the best way to go ahead and win the game.
Yeah, a lot of coaches say, let's just run the football, be conservative. He's sticking to his game plan.
No, that is his game, and that's what they're going to ride.
Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
He's going.
On first down, Rodgers got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Now let's see who this is on. This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
Hey,
Hurry up.
Rodgers throwing here. And that is intercepted on the sideline. Wait, no. They'll say no. It was caught out of bounds. So this is just an incompletion here. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28.
even. 4 down.
Back to the air on second down. It's Rodgers. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. To throw is Rodgers. And the third down pass falls incomplete.
Well, it's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why he got knocked away there. And this one is right through. And that will extend their lead even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
After the made field goal, now Crosby will do the kickoff duties. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Tyler Lockett, he's at the 50. He's at the 30, 20, 10. And he brings this one all the way back. So definitely good for the individual stats. Maybe not for our storyline, but he's in for the late score. It's been a back-and-forth game, a lot of points on the board. That return right there kind of indicative of how this thing's gone.
Well, you've seen both teams go at it, and as you just pointed out, both of them have found the end zone. But just like in boxing, you know the blow that hurts the most? The one you didn't see coming, and that often is the case when it comes in special teams.
So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And the 2 points always stings, but they can put this in the end zone. You could make it a 2-score swing.
Hey, boys, got 4.
That stinging is probably that shot you take to the body. And now they can hit them in the chin with a big one, can't they? I mean, they can come right up and smack them and really create a great advantage for themselves.
An opportunity to take advantage. We'll see if they do just that. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down. The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already.
4 down.
Rodgers looking to throw. He's going to look deep down the field. It's caught inside the 25. And he is down deep into Seattle territory. A big play there. Rodgers to Adams. 43 yards. Well, we haven't been shortchanged on offense. Another fun play to watch there on the deep pass.
This game has the feel of, what, a turkey bowl, a Thanksgiving day. You know, when we get together this year, when the Davises and the Gardens get together, that's what our playbook's going to look like they're drawing them up in the dirt, and so far it's working for both of them.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he'll take this for a short gain on what will prove to be the final play of this ball game. A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not at a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click. And you know people who love this game, they also love baseball games that are 14 to 11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in.
So for the Packers, it'll be a 500 start as the win gets them back to 2-2. And they'll have another home date next week as the Detroit Lions come to town. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks,